am Felicia.
And as usual, I'm Giancarlo.
Our names don't change.
No.
This is a game called
Magic Maze.
Magic Maze.
And we're going to do a review of it.
We are.
Oh, cool. Are you okay?
So what is this about?
I'm having a serious conversation. She starts
coasters.
losing it.
Amazing.
Wow.
Jessica, there's coasters.
Oh, no, there's not coasters. Those
Jessica,
are tiles.
there's coasters.
I quit. I'm done. In Magic Maze, players will work together to move the fantasy adventures in a mall to steal certain items and get out. Will the orange dwarf, green elf, purple mage, and yellow barbarian succeed in time, or forever be lost? Game here is set for 3 players and will use the Scenario 2 setup. The tile 1A is placed with tiles 2 to 12 shuffled in the mall deck. The theft tile is placed this side up. Tokens, timer, and do something pawn close to all players. Action tiles are distributed randomly, and make sure you use the right ones according to the players as listed here. They're north side in the accordance to the north side on the tile A, and when a player flips the timer, you're ready to play. To win, each pawn must first be on their colored items, flip the theft tile over, and each flee to their denoted exits while still having time remaining in the timer. They must also do this without talking to one another, except in a few instances.
When the timer is flipped, players can move any pawn they want in accordance to what their action tiles allows them to do. In this case, a player can move the pawns in these 2 directions, another in one direction and use vortexes, and the other in another direction use escalators, and place tiles when a pawn is searching. To do so, the right colored pawn must be on the space with the same colored search icon. If so, the player who has the search action tile will flip the top one and place it so the white arrow lines up with the search action icon. Using a vortex requires the same colored pawn to be teleported to another same colored vortex. Again, only the player with the vortex action tile can do so. Escalators require the player with the escalator icon to make the pawn move up the escalator. Players are trying to get the pawns to be simultaneously occupying the same colored item space, at which point the theft tile is flipped. Vortexes can no longer be used, and the pawns must all be brought to their same colored exits. And they only have 3 minutes to do this, all without talking, but there's hope for communication and extra time.
Any player may use the do something pawn by placing it in front of another player to silently tell him to do something when his action is required. It might be more useful than just glaring at them, which is still permitted. But eventually you'll need to verbally communicate with your teammates and require more time. That's what these icons are for. When a pawn enters these, you'll flip the timer again, and before anyone moves a pawn, you may actually talk to your teammates in terms of strategy, tactics, and whatnot. Place an X on the icon to know you can't use it again. However, when a player moves a pawn, all verbal privileges are now gone. Get the items, find the exits, and do so with sand still in the timer, and you'll win.
Before we move to final thoughts, we wanted to show you some mechanics in store for more complex scenarios. The small entrance in the orange wall means only the dwarf can go through. If the green elf explores, all players will be allowed to communicate following the rules as when the timer is flipped. The purple mage can go on these orbs to add 2 new tiles to the maze instead of 1, and having 2 or more cameras revealed will forbid players to use any sand timer spaces until the barbarian puts them out of order. Some other scenarios will have you pass your action tile to the player to your left after the sand timer is flipped.
Magic Maze is a fun co-op mess in a good way. It blends extremely well the urgency with fun, communication with silence, and the undeniable confusion with laughter. Components do the job well enough, and though the icons and colors are functional, there is a bit of lack of artwork. But you're not getting this game for that. You're getting it because it's a great filler, and the multitudes of scenarios and customization ensures replay value. Player interaction is strong, yes, even with the lack of communication, but even though they've implemented scaling in terms of action tiles, the sweet number for this is 4 and best played as such. Not the best in long-term strategy, the game makes up for in short-term tactics, and sometimes chaotically. It's easy enough for anyone to play without alienating more advanced players. Magic Maze gets an 8 out of 10. Subscribe now to our channel to stay in the loop. If you like our work, help us continue by sharing the channel to your gaming group. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.